Okay, welcome along class. Just going to help you with the homework if that's required. So we'll just get straight into it. Probably want to flip my camera. And okay, let's get straight into it. First question in your homework last night from that worksheet was to expand x minus 3 to be squared. Okay, so this is a binomial expansion. We could use FOIL, we could split the brackets, but the direct and simplest strategy is to square this, to multiply the two together and double. Now I will say that that's the general method regardless of what's happening here, and I was sorry after class that I hadn't said it just to do that, because I was only complicating it for later on by just saying double this, because it just gave you one extra thing to learn and then come at it from here. So we're visualizing our learning here and we're squaring -3 to get +9 done. Okay, the next question here is x plus 4 to be squared, all to be squared. Come at it from the right and square that, multiply them together and double. I'm going to get 4x and then I'm going to get 8x. Maybe no harm in going through that process up there in rough work, because otherwise over time you might forget to double. Whereas if you're visualizing and writing out your steps, it's helpful. And then we've come at it from the left, from the top, and now from the right, giving us +16, box done. Now for more general binomial squares, a 3x minus 5, all to be squared. From the left, what we're doing now is we're squaring 3x. We're not doing this. We're getting 9x squared. We're multiplying that by that. Let's write it down. Let's double it. Or let's write it down and bring it straight in and double it. And let's come from the right and double that. No, square that. Mistake. Nearly off picture. Square it, +25. Gotta keep concentrating. Even I do. 5x plus 3, all to be squared. From the left, 25x squared. From above, the cross product is 15x. We're going to double it. And from the right, we're squaring to give ourselves +9. I forgot to square there, but I can see that that doesn't look right. So you're always going with x squared, x are the numbers. Okay, how are we doing? We're doing brilliant. Okay, so now we're going to solve these. And I had one of you text me with saying you didn't get the same answer with the using the minus b formula. And of course I was able to point out that you'd slipped up with the squaring in the minus b formula, but this method had worked. When you look at them side by side, it's absolutely no-brainer that you want to have that strategy of doing maths the best way, okay, the quickest way. So the fact is, this is already a square in squared form. So this is very easy to isolate the x using a direct method called the square root property. So let's get straight down to it. We'll take the square root of both sides using the square root property. That's the big one there, all of that. After that, it's plain sailing. We will transpose the -3 term, which basically means change it and move it. Change side, change sides. The proper term there is transpose terms. So we'll transpose the -3, giving us +3. I don't have to write the plus, but I've written it now and I'm not taking it away, and the video is rolling. Okay, great. The plus or minus is keeping the both answers, and even though we split it up yesterday, I was kind of sorry I did that too, but I did want to give you that for understanding. So now I'm going to, and another thing here I suppose is that we'd underline this I was showing you we'd underline this to see that, and this to decide this as the one that has to term that has to move. Now we'll underline the fact that we're looking for x on its own. So the 2 is the one that has to move, but it is a factor. So you divide down the factor. Okay. So we get x equals 3 plus or minus the square root of 3 all over 2. That's your answer. You're done. Okay. Using the minus b formula after expanding that will give you the same thing. It's just going to take you a lot longer. Okay. We move into question B. 3x plus 4. Now if you're able to do the one on the left, you should be at A, you're able to do B. But still in all, or hang on, there was a minus there and there's a plus here. But still in all, you should follow your basic maths and you should be able to do this. But let's go for it. So again, we're looking at it in square form, so it's very easy to isolate the x by using inverse operations. So it's a direct approach. Let's take the square root of both sides using the square root property. Okay, let's keep this on the left, transpose the plus 4, to get rid of the creak on this table. 3x equals minus 4 plus or minus square root of 5, divide down the 3, x equals minus 4 plus or minus square root of 5 all over 3. This is a third answer. Now if you wanted to say show me the rational part and show me the irrational part, we could do this. You don't have to, but you can. Okay. And you could make an approximation for that using your calculator, but that would only be an approximation. This is the exact answer, which is where we're leaving it. Okay. I'll speed up because there's once you mastered the method, you should be flying through these. I am going to post something else as well for you to do over the weekend. I know you don't have class today, but I'm also aware that a lot of you are independent learners and you want to do more, so I'm going to give it an optional post later on. I'll give you a worksheet and so on. Okay, so we have a square here equals 10, square root property. There's a natural flow to it, isn't there? After a while, after practice. You do need to be careful to simplify certs. These are all simplified. If you got something like the square root of 18, it would be 2 root 3. Your calculator would tell you that, but so would your brain too, just because you'd spot that if there's a factor in here that's a perfect square. 2 to go and we're done. I said we'll go with 3x minus 5 to be squared equals, what did I say, 7. And over here we're going to do 5x plus 3 to be squared equals 6. I probably don't need to be doing these for you now at this point because you hopefully if you're able to do the rest, you're able to do these, but that's I give you plenty for practice. 3x minus 5, applying the square root property, transposing the negative 5. You heard what I said? I said transposing the negative 5. I've transposed it. Dividing down the factor of 3, dividing down the factor of 3. You can argue that you don't have to put your answer in a box. You can just leave it and you're done. You could say, well, that's inefficient. You're all about efficiency, sir. And then here you are doing extra work. I don't know. I'm able to do it. In an exam I would do it. Maybe I'll stop doing it during homework. 5x equals negative 3 plus or minus root 6. Let's divide down to 5. X equals minus 3 plus or minus root 6 over 5. Done. Not boxing it. Good luck. See you on the next one.